Oh, that's right. We are here at Sharp Facets Gallery. Boy, do I have a treat for you. I tell you what, we're going to be talking about getting in shape. That's right, and all the different ways that you can do it. I have Ruthie Graham. She works at the Y. She works with GET, the Greenwood Endurance Team, and she even has her own business now, folks. So we're going to be talking about all aspects of this. Not only does she have... She had 3 children the last time I talked to you, and now you have 4. You've adopted. Yeah, yes. You have adopted one. So she is a busy, busy woman, and she took time out of her schedule to come talk to us today. I think that is terrific. But let me just tell you what the weather is out here right now. 33 this morning, right now 53 degrees and beautiful out there. What are we looking for? A high of 63. Tonight it is going to cool down, though, and it should be about 38 degrees out there. So if you're going out now, you better take a jacket with you if you're going to be out late. And I got to tell you something else before we get started, Ruthie. The price of gold has gone up today. So if you've been in a holding pattern, you don't want to miss what's happening right now with gold. This morning, $17.19. Right now, it is $1,737. It has gone up over $17, folks. But here's the thing. Don't get too piggy, because you know what can happen. What goes up goes down. So if you have been sitting on the sidelines here, come see us. $1,737 right now for the price of gold. Silver is at $33.80. It's an excellent day to sell. You know we pay the most, so come see us today right here at Sharp Facets Gallery. Got a question about gold buying? Give us a call, 229-6613. By the way, Valentine's is now less than a week away. So keep that in mind, guys, as you're listening here today. But Ruthie, it is so good to have you on the show here today.
It's so good to be here. Thank you.
That's right. You've been amping things up since we saw you last.
I have. My life, I'm afraid if I stopped, it would just all fall apart. I don't know what I would do. So there's always something.
Well, you keep yourself real busy. You're still teaching at the Y. Now tell us what you're doing at the Y.
Okay, I teach a spin class at the Y. My class is on Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 5:30 a.m. I have to give.
Excuse me, 5:30 a.m.
5:30 a.m. When you have 4 children, the only time you can find a workout sometimes is 5:30 a.m. But you know, when I get there, sometimes people are actually walking out of the Y. They've already been there, gotten their workout in, and they're leaving. Those are the people that need to be given a high five. But I'm not the only one teaching that class now. Stephen Schnell has come in, and one of us is there on Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 5:30 teaching the class.
Wow. So, and how many people do you have in your class, roughly?
Roughly around 10.
Around 10?
Yeah.
Dedicated souls.
Dedicated souls. Or crazy, one or the other. Or bored.
Or bored, that's right. Who knows? Who knows? Well, that is terrific. Are you teaching any other classes at the Y now? Or?
I'm not teaching any other classes right now at the Y. Just those 3.
You know, the last time you were on, we had somebody who had very much benefited from your help at the Y, and Jeff brought that up the other day about a guy who came in, and then he got into GET, the Greenwood Endurance Team. And let's talk a little bit about what the good things are at the Greenwood Endurance Team. So much.
Well, Greenwood Endurance Team was founded a few years. It's been 2 years now, actually, that we were founded. I can't believe that. But it was really just a bunch of triathletes that got together. We were training together, running together, cycling together, swimming together at the lake. And
were you eating together too?
Every once in a while. Some of them are married. They live together. Most of us weren't.
Yeah.
But we thought, we need to organize this. We can do a lot more than just ourselves, and that's really what we wanted to do, was to make it more than just about us. Because being a triathlon, or being in a triathlon, is very egocentric. It's all about you. And we didn't want it to be that way. We really wanted to be able to bring people in. As we got to talking about it, we realized there's a lot of people out there riding their bikes, running, swimming, and they aren't triathletes. They don't want to be triathletes. They just want to run, bike, or swim. They don't want to do all 3. So we ended up forming the Greenwood Endurance Team 2 years ago. Right now we have about 60 members. Every month we meet on the first Tuesday of every month.
Would that be today?
It is today.
Yeah, how about that?
It is today. So tonight at 6 o'clock. at the Greenwood Genetics Center in the auditorium. Beautiful place. We have a great place for our speakers. But every month we have a new speaker in who comes and tells us about something that will benefit us. And we do have people who are elite athletes and can run really fast, or they can do triathlons really fast. We have those who call themselves, they say they have an inner athlete. Their athlete hasn't come out yet. And that's great, but that's fine because we have people come in and talk about yoga. That's tonight's topic. We have people come in and talk about nutrition, how to run better, how to avoid injuries, what to do when you get injuries. We really try to keep it so everyone gets something.
So everyone gets something. Get it?
Get it at Get. Yes, they do.
So this is an organization now. If somebody wants to come to the meeting and they're not a member, can they come out and see what's going on?
Absolutely. We have just recently changed this policy. However, what it is you can come to 2 meetings for free to try us out, see if you like it, get to know us, and
Get to know us
at Get. Then if you decide that you would like to join, it's $30 for the year. That does get you a Get t-shirt. We can do this all day long, man.
And you wonder why you named yourself Get.
Yeah. Actually, I'm in charge of the emails for the club, and I can have fun with that sometimes. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. But that's for $30, that gets you the t-shirt. We also do uniforms during the year, so if you go out and do a 5K, a triathlon, a bike, that's a supported event, where you actually have to pay to be in it. You can go out there in your Greenwood Endurance Team jersey and look pretty.
Look pretty professional.
You look pretty professional.
There you
Really, I got to tell you, they are some of the prettiest uniforms I've seen. And I live on Old Abbeville Highway, and I see a lot of cyclists, and I see a lot of runners. And I can tell when there's an endurance team member coming down the road because they're seen. It's a very bright uniform, and that's good because you want to make sure that the people who are in cars see you when you're doing all of these things.
So, who is involved in it? You've got you have president?
Our president is Greg Sorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Our vice president is Josh Fennell. I am the secretary, and our treasurer is Fran Human.
So, it's a good organization, great group of people.
Yeah.
And of course, if you'd like to come out and see what they're all about, you can go to the Genetics Center, and it's the first Tuesday of every month.
That's right. We also have a website, greenwoodenduranceteam.com.
Okay, so you can check out their website. Now, this is a good, if you just want to, even if you're not in shape and you want to start getting in shape, I mean, if you just like to, whether it's walking, biking, whatever.
Anything. That's what we wanted. We wanted to, first of all, give back. We didn't want it always to be about us and us being in the races and you supporting us. We wanted to give back, and so we do a lot of supporting races. We actually helped put on a 5K this past year, the Race the Helix. Most of the 5Ks in town we have volunteers at. Most of the triathlons in town we have volunteers at that. But also we wanted to encourage people to get out and move. So we do, yes. If you aren't doing anything right now, come see us.
Absolutely.
We'll help you get there.
Yeah. And there have been people that have started out that were in terrible shape.
Absolutely.
And had no even thought process that they could get there.
Right. Yes. And they did get there.
Sure. And there's nothing wrong with starting at that level.
Oh no. You have to start somewhere.
Sure.
Everybody started at the beginning. even our elite athletes all had to start somewhere. But in fact, we've had this past year, when it came time to get people to volunteer, we actually had a decline in our athletes or in our volunteers because so many of our volunteers who thought
participating.
They thought, oh, I could never do that, but they went out and volunteered, and they thought maybe I could, and so they were out there participating. So I had a kind of a hard time this year getting enough volunteers for the races we were going to be involved in because they were on the course.
That's a good thing.
It's not a bad thing.
No, absolutely.
But, yeah.
So now, do y'all work at all with kids?
We do, but it was one of the things we encourage. Right now we don't have anything going on for children per se. High school, we've actually had some kids who are high school students who have been members. We don't right now. That doesn't mean we couldn't have them again. We don't have anything right now that is geared towards kids, but that is something that is in the works. We are looking at a triathlon that has fallen to the wayside that was a kids triathlon in the fall that we would like to see come back again, and that's something we're working on.
That would be good. That would be excellent. That is the thing about getting healthy and getting fit and everything. If you ever get there, it would be hard to give it up once you start feeling so good. I mean, you can go ahead now and tell us how good you feel because you work out all the time.
It's really true. And that's what the clients I have right now through the business is that's what I hear from them is that they get fit, they start feeling better, they have more energy, and they start realizing they can do more than they ever thought that they could do. And you really don't want to give that up. The good news is if you ever do give it up, if something happens, things happen in life. Mm-hmm. I do have people who they started a couple of years ago, several years ago. They had to give it up for some reason or another. They're mad at themselves now, really, because they did give it up, but it comes back a lot faster. So at least getting it that first time makes a big difference.
Makes a big difference. All right. Well, we are here at Sharp Facets Gallery. We are talking with Ruthie Graham. We're going to be talking a little bit about her sweat box. I'm scared, but we're going to talk a little bit about that. And you'll be happy to know, earlier in the day today, I happened to see someone that we all know, Austin Brown. Yeah, so Austin, that's right. So let's hear a word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back here at Sharp Facets Gallery. We have the Energizer Bunny, a.k.a. Ruthie Graham, here with us today. You said that, you started training for a marathon with your arm in a sling.
I did.
I mean, come on now, girlfriend.
Well, the story is I was actually helping a group of people through the Y, train for the Y's triathlon this past year. And back in March, I had a little wreck on my bike, and it messed up my shoulder a little more than I had liked. And so we decided to do surgery in June. I had the surgery June the 1st. And on I don't remember the date in July, but the very beginning of July, I decided that I needed to do something. And the only thing I could do was run. Mm-hmm. So I did sign up for the Rock and Roll Marathon in Savannah that was this past November the 5th. And I had chosen a surgeon who is also a triathlete. His name is James Loggins. He's great. And I went to see him about a week after I signed up. I said, hey, is it okay if I do a marathon? And he's like, oh, yeah. Because he knew I was going to do it anyway, but I couldn't just not do something. And I saw that if I didn't put a goal in front of me, then I was going to just stop doing anything and become couch potato for a while, and I didn't want to do that. So, yes.
So how did the marathon go?
There's two parts of me. There's the very rational part of me that says, you did a great job. You finished 26 point, whatever miles that is, 26.2. I did it in 5 hours and 18 minutes. It's my first one. I only trained for 16 weeks. People train for these things for 6 months. And I started with my arm in a sling and really couldn't lift it over my head at that point. So it was not a pretty beginning. On the other hand, the competitive side of me knows I could have done a lot better than 5 hours and 18 minutes. But I had some problems with my knees, and so I just had to kind of get through it. And I did. And I'm happy with that.
And she gets through it. Yes.
I did get through it.
Well, that was an experience. Would you like to run more marathons, or you want to go back to triathlon?
I would like to do some more marathons, because now I've done that marathon. This is the other non-rational side of me that says you could have done better. I want to do better now. I want to go run it in 4.5 hours. So, yeah, I'd love to do another marathon.
Well, she'll be in another marathon, folks. That's right. So, what else is now? What about your kids with all this exercise? Do your kids have to be super kids here?
They are super kids. Of course my kids are super kids.
Set up question, folks.
My kids awesome. My oldest child is a sophomore in high school. She was on the golf team this past year. She's still in dance. She's loving, she does point, and she loves that. My next oldest child is whatever sport is going on at the moment is what he's in. Golf is coming up. He loves football. He loves basketball. He loves baseball. So whatever is going on at the moment, that's what he does. My next child is 8. She's in gymnastics. Now, those two middle kids very much want to do the kids' triathlon coming up, so I'm about to start training them for that. Mm-hmm. As well as another group. We're going to do a group of kids from Cambridge where they go to school and have a little team for that triathlon from Cambridge. And then my youngest is 5, and right now he doesn't do anything organized, although soccer is coming up. Mm-hmm. In fact, I believe soccer sign-ups are right now at the YMCA, so I've got to do that. And he'll be a soccer kid coming up here soon.
Now, what about your kids and all these texting and all these games and all this kind of stuff? Do your kids do all this kind of stuff?
Yes, they do. I have 2 kids that have DSs. We have a Wii. 2 kids have cell phones. We limit it after a certain amount of time, usually 30 minutes or so. I tell them all the screens need to go off, and they know what that means. Turn the TV off. Turn the iPad off, whatever you're on that has a screen to it, it goes off, and it's time for you to do something else. And 9 times out of 10, when I tell them that, they go outside.
They go outside on their own?
They do. They go outside on their own. They love outside, every one of them. I'm so
What do you think
thankful.
it takes to make kids that way? Because we have so many that it's just hard to get them off the couch and do anything else.
Well, I think a lot of it is just leading by example. My husband's that way. I'm that way. They've seen me go out and do bike rides and runs, and they've seen me in triathlons. My husband very much cannot stand to be inside. If it's a nice day outside, he's going to be outside doing something. It might be yard work. It might be just hanging out with the dogs. It might be throwing the football with them. But we've led by
With the
example
dogs?
with him.
Excellent.
Yes.
Throwing the
Good job.
football with the dogs.
Throwing the football with the dogs. They would. They'd eat the football. But I meant throwing the football with the kids. That's what I meant. My dogs would eat the football.
Yeah.
It wouldn't work out very well for very long.
But it is interesting the different philosophies that we have, isn't it, about this? I mean, and I think you're right. It is leading by example. How many people are standing there with iPads in their, iPad, earphones, and they're totally disconnected from what is going on around them, and we don't seem to be able to cut it off.
Right. And you really have to. You get sensory overload. And I can tell that with my kids. If I get busy around the house and they've been doing whatever, if they've been on a computer for an hour and I say something to them, not even thinking, wow, they've been there for an hour, I can tell there's an edge in their voice. It's just too much. You get, there's a feeling, I think, inside. And I know I get it too sometimes when I've been sitting in front of a computer. It's just there's so many things coming at you with these games that they play that it's just overload. And they need to just go outside. Or they need to go do something else, whether it's outside or not.
Sure.
So.
Okay. All right. So she has active kids. She has an active husband. She's active herself. Has it always been that way for you?
It really has been. In high school, I really wasn't an athlete, so all this triathlon running stuff is kind of new to me. I was more in dance and cheerleading, which was active. I loved it. But when I got out of high school and put on a few pounds there in the first few months of college, I had to find something to do. But we really have always been that way. We've always had something to do that's kept us. And I grew up with a mom who struggled with her weight all my life. She struggled with her weight. She'd lose it, she'd gain it. She'd lose it, she'd gain it. And when I gained those 15 pounds my first year at college, I did not want that to be the way I spent my life, constantly gaining and losing. So I committed a long time ago.
So what did you come up with in college that was your thing?
In college, I went to Clemson University for a while. I can't say I finished there, but it's a very hilly campus, and I did a lot of walking, not just to and from classes, but I would actually go out and work out, going up and down hills. They have most colleges, and in fact all colleges I can think of, have great resources for students. They have step classes, they have spin classes, there's a new one out called Ripped, they have Zumba. They've got all that
Ripped?
stuff. Awesome.
What is RIP?
Okay, RIP is actually an acronym, and it stands for Resistance Interval Plyometrics Power Endurance. And then
All right, I'm tired.
I know. And then the D is diet.
Okay.
That is being taught over at the YMCA right now, and it is an awesome class. It is just an hour. It's 50 minutes to 60 minutes of just jam-packed activity. It's fabulous.
Fabulous.
Yes.
Okay. New program out there
Yeah.
at the Y. Ripped. Is that right?
Ripped.
Ripped. And how do your muscles look? Do they look ripped?
You know what? If you go to that class enough, your muscles will look ripped. Yes, they will.
All right. Well, we are here with Ruthie Graham. She is a very active person, to say the least. I'm going to need a nap after this. Greenwood Endurance Team. She also works at the Y. And when we come back after the news, we're going to be talking about a little bit about Sweatbox. That sounds awesome. I'm going to be tired at the end of this, but I'm looking forward to hearing more about Sweatbox. So you got to stay right here with us, right here at Sharp Facets. If you've got a question for Ruthie, don't hesitate to give us a call right here. Give us a call, 229-7984. That's 229-7984. I tell you what, you got to stay right with us. Right now, if you've got gold, if you are sitting there saying, what am I going to do? Come see us. Gold is now at $17.43. But just like every other day, it seems to go up, and then it falls back. $17.43 right now. Don't miss this opportunity to sell. Come see us today right here at Sharp Facets Gallery. Got a question for us at Sharp Facets? That number, 229-6613. We're going to hear South Carolina news, a word from our sponsors. We're going to be back here with the one and only Ruthie Graham. Don't you go away. That's right. We are here at Sharp Facets Gallery on the 72 bypass. We are having a good conversation, a really revved up, excited conversation. I'm here with Ruthie Graham. If you're tired yet, listen, she's just getting warmed up here, folks. We are getting ready to talk a little bit about the business that she has because, now, you didn't go out to start a business.
I didn't. Not at all.
What happened here?
Well, we were just talking about Austin Brown. He and I were in business together. He actually started A2B Coaching Systems. He was coaching triathletes. There were some runners, some cyclists. He said, I can really use some help. And he said, would you like to be that person? I was like, yes! I was so excited. As things went along, we ended up with some clients who were in it for weight loss. They wanted workouts more than they wanted workouts. Just what do I do when I go into the gym? Or what do I do when I go out to run or walk? It ended up with me getting a nutrition certification because we get a lot of questions about what do I need to eat. And I thought, well, I guess I better get some sort of a certification here on this. And it just kind of morphed from one thing to another. Back this past summer, Austin and I had a place that we rented out so that we could train some of our people. Austin decided that he wanted to go into the Army. He's going to be a Green Beret. And we're still great friends, but in the process of him deciding that, we decided that the business would become mine. When it became mine, I decided that since A2B really was a play on his name, and we were calling our little place that we were training people out of, we had named that the Sweatbox.
And why did you name it the Sweatbox? Just out of curiosity?
No, it had no air conditioning.
So you really did sweat last summer.
We really did. In fact, there were a couple of months we really couldn't even go in. But it happened when we walked in. It was back in the spring, and we had just signed the lease. And Austin walked in the door, and he said, "Man, this is a Sweatbox." I said, "That's the name." That's it. So that's how it became the Sweatbox. But when Austin decided to go on and to make it just my own thing, I decided just to name the business the Sweatbox. So I've dropped A2B Coaching Systems, but that's where it came from. It came from my business with Austin, and he's still great. He has still come in there and trained people. He helped me paint. Oh, he helped me paint.
So where is your business actually at?
It is at 690C Highway 72 Bypass, and that is.
Where's that at?
Yes, that is if you are heading towards Abbeville from Walmart. We're on the right-hand side of the road. We're at a red light. That what is it? It's Ag South Farm Credit is in our building. There is another business in front of my business, but I don't know the name of it.
It used to be Cake Decor.
It used to be Cake Decor, and I'm in the very back of what used to be Cake Decor. I have a little 500 square foot space, and that's all I need. That's what I'm using, and that's where I am.
All right, so that's what's happening with Ruthie. Now, you have expanded what you're doing, correct?
Yes.
And,
I really don't have any triathletes right now. I am training a couple of people at this time to be in the Cooper River Bridge Run coming up. I believe that's in April.
That's always a biggie.
It is. It's a big event. And that's a hard event, too, because it's when you talk about a bridge run, you have to run up the bridge first, and that's a pretty big hill. It's a long hill. So it's
also a pretty big party, I must admit.
It is. Heck, you're in Charleston. Absolutely. I mean, the marathon I did was in Savannah. Perfect place to do a marathon.
Absolutely.
Was in Savannah. So, yeah. So right now I am still training a couple of people who are doing just little events like that, working with a couple of people on some swimming technique. But most of my business has become semi-personal training and personal training.
Now, what does that mean?
Well, personal training is just me.
Right.
It's just you and me in the gym or in the studio, working you out with whatever you need to have done. That's what we do. All of my workouts do focus on the whole body. We get upper body, lower body. I'm very big on core and also on flexibility, so you get that in every single one of the workouts. Semi-personal training, up to 5 people can be in the group at a time. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean that if you can't do something that everybody else is doing, you can't be a part of that group. I do have groups where everybody can do the same thing. I do have groups where someone has a knee issue and they can't do a squat or they can't do a lunge. I have some people who have greater issues. They can't jump, and a lot of the things I do are body weight, plyometric type things. I modify that for you if you can't do it.
So you can put together a semi group and meet and do this.
Yes.
So now you're coming up with something there that sounds very interesting coming up in March. Tell us about that.
Yes, beginning in March, and let's see, it will begin on March the 3rd, and that's a Saturday. That'll be at the studio. We'll be doing a weigh-in and measurements. Don't let that
come on
scare
now,
you
weigh-in
away.
and measurements.
You
Come
gotta
on.
know where you're starting. And I don't focus too much with any of my clients on your weight. I even discourage some of my clients from getting on the scale. I discourage everyone from getting on the scale more than once a week. But also that day, I'll be giving a nutrition and an exercise seminar because I'll be requiring you to write down what you're eating. Let me see that when you come into me, and you'll have 5 days that you're committing to actually working out. 2 of those days will be at the sweat box, but the other 3 days will be on your own, and I will give you some guidelines on what you should be doing those other 3 days of the week.
Now, this is a bargain. What's the deal?
$100 for the month.
$100 for a month. So it's challenging you to get in shape, I guess. Yes?
It is challenging you to get in shape. I figured, and that's why I've had some people saying, why are you doing it in March? Why didn't you do it on January the 1st? Well, on January the 1st, everybody already has in their mind what they want to do, and people are stubborn.
They are.
And so I figured that by now, by March the 1st or March the 3rd, when we'll begin, people have either fallen off the wagon, they've given up on their goals, or they've reached a plateau, or they never really got started very good, and they're wishing they had, because March, the next thing, is bathing suits.
That's right.
So I figured I would jump in on March 3rd.
I think probably the best thing you could do is have everybody come try on their bathing suit. There you go.
That's not a bad I think we will do. You just gave me. We'll do before pictures as well.
Oh my God!
They don't have to be in bathing suits, but it could be if you like. That works for me too.
The big, the problem with winter is you get to wear the big sweaters and the big sweatshirts and all this kind of stuff and all the comfy stuff that you don't realize how much it has stretched to fit you.
Exactly.
And the weather's not nice, so you're not going outside the same. Maybe. I mean, this year has been an exception. But
this year has been nice, but you're right, and that's very soon. People are going to start thinking about bathing suits, and oh goodness.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we are here with Ruthie Graham. She has a place called the Sweat Box, and I guess it's not really as bad as it sounds, is it?
It depends on the day.
Depends on the day. All right. All right. Well, if you want to get in shape, hey, we're going to talk a little bit more about what Ruthie's doing. And if you get to see this video, you'll get to see Gracie as part of the picture, as always. Hey, we're going to hear a word from our sponsors, and we'll be back here at Sharp Facets Gallery, and we are having a good time. Hey, tonight, Greenwood Endurance Team, you're having a meeting, correct?
Yes, we are having a meeting. We have Jennifer Smazinski will be speaking about yoga and all the good things it will do for your body.
It won't put you to sleep?
I don't think it will put you to sleep. I've taken Jennifer's yoga class, and it will not put you to sleep.
Okay. But there are so many benefits for yoga, and I guess it's really from the aspect of exercise and getting in shape. Is this why she's...
She is. She actually, and she's not coming to Greenwood Endurance Team tonight because she teaches a class at the Sweat Box, but she does teach a class at the Sweat Box.
Just FYI.
FYI, that's 5:45 on Mondays and Tuesdays, and we have a Saturday class beginning soon. And that is a yoga for athletes. It is really geared towards people who are already athletic, but that doesn't mean that it wouldn't benefit anyone. I've done the class. My husband is one who thinks, yoga, you might as well take a nap. No, it is really not that way. It is really, it's a strenuous workout. But, again, like any good teacher, Jennifer can modify it for anyone. So if you've never done yoga before, you're not in shape at all, Jennifer can help you with the poses so that you can do it.
Gracie's real good at the down dog.
She is really good at down dog. Right now she's good at, I am not a happy dog. That's over there.
That's right. I'm laying over here, but I'm not really happy about it. But yes, so now tell us where again the meeting is and everything for tonight.
The meeting is in the auditorium at the Greenwood Genetics Center. We put up our great big Greenwood Endurance Team sign so you know which building to go in.
All right. So if you'd like to go to this, you get to go, 2 times and check it out?
That's right. You can go 2 times for free, and then after that we do ask that you join.
Okay.
Or not come, which we really hope you'll join. And tonight, like I said, we have Jennifer speaking about yoga. I'm not sure who our next speaker is, but I do know that we had a meeting a couple of weeks ago, just the board, talking about who we'd like to have come in, and we've got some really good ones that we're looking into this year. So I hope you'll come.
Absolutely. Now, and of course, you also have a website.
We do, GreenwoodEnduranceTeam.com. We also have a Facebook page, Greenwood Endurance Team on Facebook.
So check those out. You know, it's a really good way if you would like to get in shape. It's a really good program for that. It is only $30 for a year.
It is $30 for a year. Gets you a T-shirt. We have a couple of socials a year. Usually you don't have to pay anything for that. It gets you all these speakers that we have come in. And absolutely, I mean, honestly, the people who are members of the Greenwood Endurance Team there are volumes and volumes of knowledge in their head about their given sport. So if you're looking to get into cycling, I can get you with the right person. If you are looking at running, I can get you with the right person. If you want to swim, I can get you with the right person. If you want to do all three of them and be a triathlete, I can get you with the right person.
So this is it's kind of a group that's kind of under the wire.
It is. We're trying to get a little more over the wire, but it is. And that's, I know I spoke, I believe it was last year at one of I believe it was the Kiwanis Club. No, it wasn't Kiwanis.
One of the clubs.
It was one of the clubs. And that was one of the questions I asked them was, how many of you ever heard the Greenwood Endurance Team? And many of them raised their hand. I was so surprised. Because I thought, everybody knows about us, but really it's not. So
Sure.
We are getting our name out there a little bit more. We helped sponsor this year a 5K, the Race the Helix, that benefited the South Carolina Birth Defects.
Right.
That was a great race. Very, very well done. In fact, Stephen Schnell, my partner in crime for the 5:30 a.m. spin, he's the one that was his brainchild, he and his wife. And it was fabulous. So I'm really looking forward to us doing more things like that.
Sure. So get with Get.
Get with Get.
There you go. Get with Get. Now, if somebody has a question, though, and they'd like to call or talk to you about any of these things, we've talked about the Greenwood Endurance Team. We've talked about the why. We've talked about your personal sweat box.
Right.
If anybody would like to call and talk to you, Ruthie, what do they need to do?
Give me a call. My phone number is 992-6326. The email for the Sweatbox is sweatbox.sc@gmail.com.
Okay.
Or you can get me through my website.
And your website is?
sweatboxsc.com.
All right. So lots of good ways to get in shape. It just makes such a difference, and the energy and all the things that you're going to get out of it are just unbelievable.
And one of the things I really focus on too, and I touched it just a little bit with people with A to B coaching who want to know about nutrition. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest hurdle for people. I can get people moving. I can get them in my place. I can get them to come on a regular basis. I can even get them to do a couple of workouts outside of my gym. But when it comes to nutrition, that's where I see the biggest hurdles. And it's not that bad. I promise we can make your nutrition better. And that is something I include with every one of my clients because 80% of the formula is your nutrition. So
And it's tough out there in today's world.
It is. It's very hard. But there are options. There really aren't many places you can't go that you can't find something to eat. Now, I do also recommend a cheat meal. Once a week, you need to have a cheat meal.
A cheat. Oh, she didn't say cheap. She said cheat.
It could be cheap. It depends on where you go, actually. You know. Your cheat meal might be the 99-cent menu at McDonald's, for all I know.
Right, okay.
That's fine if that's what you want.
Right.
But I recommend people make that cheat meal worth it.
Go all out then.
Go all out for that one.
Right. Because it makes you feel not so deprived.
It does. Everything exactly. First of all, psychologically, it makes you feel, I'm not so deprived. I've got that coming up. I can't wait for it. Yay. And then you enjoy it. And then you're ready to go for the rest of the week. It also, physiologically, there's actually some research out there that shows that have a cheat meal, it makes your body kind of reboot itself. Is that you cut back on calories, you're exercising more, and your body goes, I think I'm going to conserve calories a little bit. All of a sudden, you give it a big meal that you've been looking forward to. And your body says, oh, okay, I'm going to go again now. I'm ready. I'm ready for it. So really, it's two-pronged.
Two-pronged. All right. Well, if you want to find out all about some nutrition, you want to do some personal training, there is a revved-up person right here sitting across the table from me, Ruthie Graham, and I tell you what, she has 4 children.
Yes.
And still manages to do all this.
Yes.
Amazing.
And that's, I kind of hold myself up and say, you know what, if I can do this, I am pretty sure that anybody can do this. I haven't met somebody yet that I can't get sometime in there. Can't get sometime in there to work out. And I've even gotten to where I tell people, if you can't get in an hour-long workout, get in 30 minutes. If you can't get in 30 minutes, get in 15. Just get in a workout.
Sure. And once you start, it's a whole lot easier. It's that inertia, shall we say.
It is. It really is. Once
a body at rest tends to stay at rest. Yes.
Exactly. And with this 30-day challenge, by then, it'll be a habit.
And, of course, that's what you're looking for.
That's
is getting, the great, talking a little bit about nutrition and children particularly.
Yes.
I mean, we have so much obesity in our children here, and they're even talking about the fact that their life expectancy can be shorter because of this.
Their parents will outlive them because of the obesity. A lot of kids being diagnosed with hypertension and diabetes because of the obesity that's going on.
So, what can a parent do? Just from a free information right here, right now.
Free information point of view still goes back to the activity. Lead by example. I have a few people who told me, my kids just won't eat that. Yes, they will. If you don't give them anything else to eat and they get hungry, they will eat it. I have a child that's like that. And he has to do 2 no thank you bites. And we found with several things that he used to take those 2 bites and gag his way through them, and now he'll actually eat the whole serving that I put on his plate. So it takes time and it takes patience, but it can happen. And I really think we have to be very careful about all these prepackaged things that we have going on. Getting too busy. I named off all the things my kids do, and there's 4 of them, so there's 8 activities going on with all these kids. Still, we take the time to have a home-cooked meal most nights of the week. And when we don't have a home-cooked meal, I'm careful about what we get when we do go out. I want my kids to grow up and be healthy.
You want them to be able to take care of you someday.
Exactly. That's it. I want them to get very rich. To take care of me.
Yeah, instead of us having to take care of our kids forever.
I live on the beach.
Right, yes, you've already got the image here, and you've already been training them. I can see that right now.
That's it.
Ruthie Grant, you will do this, and you will do that, and I will be able to do this. There you
go.
Well, it is all about getting in shape, and it is all about moving, and even if you just get out and walk for 15 or 20 minutes and put some purpose to that walk. One of the things I'm always curious about, though, you see so many people out there with the iPads, and they've got. When I go out and walk, I like to be out there just in nature. What's your feeling about that?
First of all, be very careful if you are wearing headphones and you're out on the road. I absolutely do, and I've seen people who are biking and they have headphones in. That's a no-no. You do not want to do that. If you're running because you're facing traffic when you're running. You're not facing traffic when you're biking. Right. You're with them. You need to know when those cars are coming up. So that's just a big no-no. When you're out running or walking, and for me personally, it depends on the mood I'm in. Some days I'm in the mood for Pandora. Some days I'm in the mood not to hear a thing. Probably depends on which way things are going at home.
I can imagine that.
Whether I just need the quiet or whether I really just want to hear something else. I really don't have a problem with people running and walking, being on treadmills, being on ellipticals at the Y with their headphones on. I'm really, whatever makes you happy. And if that makes you happier and that's going to get you outside, sure, play your favorite music.
Yeah, but I personally, I just love being outside and just having that the sounds of nature, shall we say. So, all right. Well, we are just about finishing up here. We've talked a little bit about Sweatbox. Let's give out your telephone number one more time here as Gracie decides that it's time for her to get part of the show.
All right. It is 992-6326.
That's 992-6326. She starts out early every day, 5:30 in the morning. She's over there at the Y teaching a spin class, not every day, but teaching a spin class. And what time do you start classes over there at the Sweatbox?
At the Sweatbox, well, we have, on Monday and Wednesday mornings, we have the yoga class going on. Usually I start training my people around, it depends on the day, 8 to 9.
8 to 9.
That's usually when I'm in there.
So for those that have the luxury of 8 to 9 and don't have to be there at 5:30, hey, give her a call.
Yeah.
But the one thing you are doing with the Sweatbox, you are training when people need to meet, I guess.
Yes, I try to make it so that, and that's what we do. Every week we look at when can you come next week. And that's when we make our decision about when you're coming next week is based on what you have going on.
Gracie normally doesn't get to be part of the table conversation here.
Maybe needs to go out for a run.
She does need more exercise. Do you do pet exercise?
Huh. Wait, that's not a bad idea.
All right, we can start pet exercise right here. She's all about figuring out how to make this work. It's tough being in business, isn't it?
It is. My problem is getting too many ideas. Like that. Taking Gracie out for a run would be fun.
Sure. But did you ever anticipate that you would own your own business?
Not at all. I was a special ed major. Loved it. I loved teaching. But after the 3rd child was born, I knew I needed to go home and stay home for a while. And we did homeschool. Now my kids are all in school. So this just all kind of happened all at the best time. You know, God's got a way of making things working out. And no, I didn't ever think I would be a business owner, although having my own studio like this has been something that has gone through my head several times over the last few years. And thankfully, you know, Austin is a good friend that he decided he was going to help me out and make it work, and it has been wonderful.
That is terrific. Well, we are here. We have been with Ruthie Graham here today. She's at the Y. Greenwood Endurance Team is having a meeting tonight. Now, that meeting time is?
6 p.m.
6 p.m. at the Genetic Center.
At the Genetic Center in the auditorium.
If you'd like to go, hey, you can go, and it won't cost you a thing. They're talking about yoga tonight. And if you'd like to become a member, check it out. They have a website, greenwoodenduranceteam.com. Check that out. And if you'd like to find out more about Sweatbox, give her a call, 992-6326. That's 992-6326. This is WLMA right here in Greenwood. Ruthie, thanks so much for coming out today.
Thank you so much for having me. I enjoyed it.
All right, it was great. Bye-bye, everybody.